And he made over six figures last year being part of our team, right? Was able to go on vacation.
Okay. Hi guys. Hello, Livang, Marlene, Max. Okay. Christina, how are you? Alain. Hey.
What's going on, Jennifer?
Good. Just gotta
So
turn your phone.
they don't work out the other way. So you see me
I
sideways?
yeah, I see you sideways.
Okay. Technical difficulties, huh? All right, let me
No
figure that out.
worries. We're gonna just let some people to start joining us.
Way to make a good impression right out of the gate.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
All right, you're gonna see ceiling for a second.
Okay, no problem. Hello, Joseph. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. All right. This is what happens when you don't prepare ahead of time. I don't know if
No
I'm gonna be able
worries.
to. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put the phone upright. You know that?
You should be able to. Lean it on something.
I know. I got all this cool equipment, and
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining us. Hey. There you go.
all right. I think we're gonna be able to do it. All right. Here we go.
There you go. Yay.
All right. It's gonna be a little high, but
That's okay. I
that's
see
the way
you.
it's gotta be. All right.
We're gonna give it another minute.
How far down do you see? Do you see my boxer shorts or no?
No.
All right, so we're good.
Listen, I get what the kids are doing now. The shirt on the top, the PJ bottoms. I'm totally rocking that right now. I'm not gonna deny it.
Yeah, I gotta stay with the cool kids.
That's right. I gotta see what it's all about. All right, so I will tell you that we had a lot of interest in today's class. So waiting for a bunch of agents that told me they would be joining us this afternoon, submitted their questions.
Awesome.
And I purposely did not send you the questions ahead of time.
Cool. That's fine. We're transparent. We got nothing to hide.
That's right. That's right. Definitely not. We're gonna go with the flow.
Yep.
All right. Got a couple people. Here we go. We got Christina, we got Marlene, we got Max, Joseph
Edison. That's a good guy right there. If you need any blinds, you need anything with blinds, curtains, electric blinds, that's your guy right there.
Good to know.
He sent me $20 for that plug, by the way.
He's
What's up,
watching
Joe?
this while enjoying carne asada. I'm pretty jealous right now.
I don't see that.
Oh, you don't get to see the messages?
No, I'm seeing some. I see hi, hello.
All right.
Marlene Lamas. All right.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to my smart look. So.
Or your glasses so you can read what's going on.
No, I can still see from here. I'll leave those off. You're gonna get a glare in my eyes if I do.
That's
I put them
okay. That's okay.
on.
Okay, there's Adriana. Thank you for joining us. So I do have like a list of questions, and we're kind of gonna just go by it. A lot of the questions that agents had were kind of the same questions over and over. Different, they're asking it differently, but basically they want the same answer. So I was
Okay.
very excited. I reached out. Thank you for everyone who joined us. Thank you, Douglas, for showing up to the party. Carlos Rojas, thank you for showing up. So I guess, Pedro, we're gonna go ahead and start so we can finish this before midnight.
Sure.
But I guess I want to start off with thanking you for being my first live. I've been
My
saying I'm
pleasure.
going to be doing a live for a while, and I've just been kind of slacking. So I figured, best time to start is now. I
Right.
just wanted to kind of touch base and of course, say thank you for joining us today and giving us some of your expertise. I know you're super humble and modest, and you don't like to say how awesome you are, but I love the KREN Group. I love everything about it. It's one of the teams that I do kind of tell other people that they need to follow, and everything's a work in progress. Hello, Alexandra.
Everything
So
is a work in progress.
absolutely. So I guess I want to start off with when did you start? I guess when did you become a realtor? What year? And what year did you join Keller Williams?
All right. So I became a realtor in 2008. I was in lending before, and then I had this brilliant idea. You know what? Lending is kind of going down. Actually, I used to work for a wholesale lender, and they let everybody up. They laid everybody off, right? And I had a brilliant idea. Hey, I should just get my real estate license. 2008. How bad can things go, right? So, so that's when I got my license, February 8th of 2008 to be exact. Went with a small company, were actually clients of mine. They're awesome individuals, but honestly, we didn't know best practices, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a long struggle. I made a deadline, told my wife after like 3,000 go get a real jobs, right? I said, hey, 2012, something's got to happen. If things don't happen by 2012, either I'm going to get a real job or I'm going to find a place where I think I can figure this out. And luckily, I think I made the right choice. I actually met with the team leader at Keller Williams in March of 2011. Took me
Okay.
about 8 months to kind of, well, I had my deadline, and then when I got there, I decided, who am I going to go interview? And for some reason, it just felt right. It just felt like a good fit for me, right?
Okay.
So I started in January 2013, with Keller Williams. And then we started, first year was a struggle. I was still resilient, resistant to what I was being told. Hey, this is the way you should do things. This is the way you build a predictable business. And so I fought that, right? Didn't make a whole lot of money that year. I think I finished that year somewhere around 40,000.
Okay.
Can't really live on 40,000 if you're going to support a household in Miami. And in 2014, I somewhat surrendered to, okay, this is what you say we have to do, then this is what we'll do. And then we started the team late 14, early 15, and made some crucial mistakes, thinking I should do it my way, because the way I was, and I have the book here somewhere. I think I might have it upstairs. But essentially what I do is I follow what Gary Keller says to do in the MREA book, right? And I wanted to do it my way first, because I know they say to do this, but my way will work. We struggled a little bit, got some headaches, brought some agents on, those agents left, right? And then finally decided, okay, if thousands of people are doing it this way, and it shows that this way is the path of least resistance to success, then maybe we should do it that way.
And here you are today.
Here's where we're at today. And as I say, I think I've said this to you before, I always say this, I imagine ourselves still to be like toddler stage, right? There's still a lot of room for growth. We're learning every day. I'm learning from agents that are doing 10 times the amount of business that we're doing daily and trying to duplicate and implement what's working for them into our business so we can become better.
Yeah, and you know, I'm glad you said that, because I had that conversation with an agent today. I was talking to her about our live, and I said, you have to join. This is a group that they are so humble. They are not the ones that are like all over social media doing 100 videos a day and saying, look at me, I'm selling all these properties. They're like the actual opposite. And even though, and I didn't start off of the live with this, your team, the KREN Group, did receive #1 real estate team for Keller Williams in Miami-Dade County for the first quarter. I never know what order to say that in, but hopefully you guys understood. First quarter, Miami-Dade County, #1 team. And I know you will never say that out loud, so that's why I needed to say it for you. And I think that it's important for people to understand the benefits of being in a team. I want to say the #1 question most people were asking me was like, okay, so we all know someone who joined the team who said, I'm going to be in so-and-so's team. 6 months down the line, a year down the line, they're no longer in that team. We've had this conversation several times before, and every time I hear it, I couldn't agree with you more. So I'm going to let you say your story. Why people join teams, why they leave teams, why they don't last in teams, and I think that you've got it down packed.
Okay, so I'll first start with if you're going to build a team, right? And this doesn't come right away. We build it a lot of times out of necessity per se, or what we feel is necessity, right? Or we have a certain pain in our world, in our business world, right? And we figure out, okay, if I bring this person to do this for me, it will alleviate that pain, right? So first, I think you have to understand that when you decide to put an organization together, you have to figure out what value are you going to bring to those people that come into your world, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're not bringing value to them and making this a win-win where they're getting value and getting ahead in what their goals are, therefore helping you get ahead in what your goals are, it's probably going to be a temporary journey, right? Or it might be temporary and then you're restarting and then you're with a person for a little bit and then you're restarting. One of my mentors, Ben Kenny, which #1 agent in the country for Keller Williams. And I say he's a mentor because I follow him, I ask him questions, I reach out. Without being a nuisance yet, I still, and I tap into a lot of what they do. Said this to me in a training that I took. I went to Washington to take a training from him for a couple of days. And he said, the quickest way for you to make $1 million is to help 10 people make 100,000, right? So I think when building a team, you have to have clarity into what value are you bringing to the team members that you're hiring in order for them to reach their goals. So, you know, I think the biggest mistake we make is we don't have clarity in that and we don't really have a plan. And we look for the quickest and easiest solution to our issue and allow it to be the wrong solution. So in my experience, not only myself, because I made the mistake, so I tell you as a personal mistake that I made. And I see most agents, because I get the same question a lot, you know, oh, what should be the first thing that you do if you're trying to build a team, et cetera. And the book tells you, the MREA book tells you, hire an admin, right?
Yeah.
Once you reach your capacity, whatever that is, and what I mean by your capacity is you're at a point in your life where, hey, I'm doing way too many transactions where I don't have quality of life, right? Because we could do 100 transactions a year, but you never see your family, you never see your kids, you work every night and every weekend, and man, that's a great business, but is that a great quality of life, right? Yeah. I don't know that. For some people that may be great. For me, I'd rather not do that many transactions, right? And have no life per se. But when you reach that capacity of, hey, I don't have a work-life balance that's acceptable to me, and now I need to bring in help, the MREA book says hire an admin. So you have administrative support that's going to alleviate those 5, 6, 7 hours of paperwork per transaction. So now you have 5 or 6, 7 hours back that you should leverage to go get more business, right? So for some agents, that may be 20 transactions. For some agents, that may be 50. It all depends on who you are, right? Yet, so we'll use an easy number of 20. If you hit those 20 transactions and you don't have any more time, right? You're working until 10, 11 o'clock at night. You're working every weekend. Your family's not too happy with you. You know, you can't enjoy.
You forgot what your wife looks like. Your kids don't remember your name, kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. You hugged the wrong lady at the supermarket, and then you got into trouble. No, the kids thing is valuable to me because you're not able to participate in their extracurricular activities. You're not able to be involved per se, right? You're bringing great money home, and that's awesome, but you're not able to be there. It's way different for you to say, hey, I watched you make that goal and that was awesome, versus the kid coming to tell you, oh, Dad, I scored a goal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the admin should alleviate those 5, 6, 7 hours of paperwork per transaction where you can still maintain a high level of service to your customer. And now you have those 5, 6, 7 hours back for you to go get more business, right? Mm-hmm. So now your business grows. So you were at 20, and now by getting all that time back, now you're able to leap to hopefully 40, 45, 50, right? With that admin support.
So let me stop you here. Wouldn't
sure.
the common realtors, sorry, don't know what's happening there.
You froze.
The common agent, okay. Hold on, let's try that again. So I think that most agents will look at a situation and say, like, I'm not going to hire an admin. Why would I pay an admin? Let me get a rookie realtor, get them under my wing, train them, give them the deals I don't want to do, whether that's showings, rentals, buyers. I mean, that's what we typically see agents do. I'm not hiring an admin. I'm just going to get a rookie realtor. Why is that a mistake?
I made it, by the way. I made it so I can tell you firsthand, right? It's a temporary Band-Aid on your situation, right? It's not a long-term win-win, right? So when the rookie realtor, first of all, everybody loses because when you get the rookie realtor that doesn't know exactly what they're doing, you got to devote a lot of time to teach them, right? So you got to devote a lot of time to teach them. That may sacrifice.
Hold on, but you're not paying them anything. You're teaching them, but you're not paying them anything. And that's
Correct.
what I think most agents think. Like, I don't want to dish out that money. I
Correct.
want to just train them, kind of like guide them, and get 50% of their, the commission.
Of course. Yet you're entrusting your leads and your customers with that agent, right? That you just said doesn't know anything. So you could potentially be harming your level of service.
I agree.
And then the third thing that happens is the following. The first 2-3 months that agent is with you and you're giving them leads, and hopefully they close a few transactions, everybody's happy. Hey, I'm making money, you're making money, right? But then that agent learns, and here's what happens in a little bit of dramatic fashion, right? 4 or 5 months goes by, and then their cousin, sister, brother, friend from high school, whatever, gives them a call and says, hey, Jenny, I want to sell my house, right? And that now not so rookie agent will be like, cool. By the way, it's in the Grove. It's $1 million. When can you guys list it? I see you doing awesome things. And then that agent, because you're not giving them any value other than leads, will start doing their math, right? And then they're going to say, okay.
And all realtors multiply by 6. I know this for a fact. Right. I haven't met one that doesn't know how to multiply by 6.
Or by 3.
Or by 3, of course.
Right. So $1 million, $30,000 commission. If I double ended, 60. But wait, Pedro didn't help me generate this deal, right?
Yeah.
This is like my friend from high school. And now I got to split $30,000 with him. So I'm going to give up $15,000, right? And shoot, I would have the same equation, right? Because all you're doing is giving them leads, right? Which is great, yet they have to take the listing, they have to coordinate photos, they have to call on the sign, they have to follow up with the seller, they have to follow up on all the showing requests, they have to go show it, negotiate other contracts, then contact you guys all the time to follow up, contact the lender, they have to go to the inspections. So they have to do all these things themselves, right? And sadly, in dialogue with a lot of other agents, most teams don't even have a common system where they keep track of all these things, or a system on how to, all right, we took a listing, how do we do that over and over and over the same exact way so the customer gets the same exact level of service and we have a successful result, right? So if I'm an agent and you're not giving me any of that, right? Damn right, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I'm giving up 15,000 because you really haven't given them any value. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Up to this point, it's almost like, and I don't know which one is it, Delirious or Raw, where Eddie Murphy says, "What have you done for me lately?" Right? Up to that point is that's what you've been. What have you done for me lately? Right? Those leads you gave me, that was back then, and you got 50%. Right? There's no added value.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's the mistake. Now, why don't we hire an admin first? I can tell you, I also went through those questions, and that's because you have to commit to paying somebody a salary. And if you don't close any deals, you still have that investment, right? Absolutely. And notice that I say investment, not expense, because if you're using it properly and you're investing that money into a person that's going to alleviate your time, it should give you time to be able to go get another deal, right? Or two, or three.
I agree.
So we joke around, but I rarely ever talk to you or Douglas, right?
No.
And
ever.
Ever.
Rarely will we get a phone call from you or any of your agents. And we say it over and over. Your admin, her name is Maddie. She's the best.
She is.
She handles, once you're in contract, we don't even see you. You guys honestly never call us. Everything is dealt through her. Any issues. And
remember, the first time we talked, I said to you, well, you talk to Maddie because the only time that you're going to talk to me is if we have a problem.
Exactly.
Right. And so
we don't talk much.
So we don't talk much at all. Right. So, so what do we do? And we're constantly improving this. In fact, I'm going through an exercise right now with my team on what are the things outside of the 5 things. Every realtor should be doing 5 things. And that's script and role play every day.
Okay.
Lead generate every day. Lead follow-up every day, right? Negotiate contracts and go on appointments. Those are the 5 things that they should be doing. And that's taught to us by MAPS, through our BOLD program, through the MREA. Anything else outside of those 5 things, your admin staff should take care of, right? So right now I'm actually going through an exercise with them on how to improve our systems and be of more value to them. Into what things are you doing repeatedly, not something that showed up once in 2 months, but what things are you doing repeatedly that you believe our team, our administrative staff should be taking care of for you, in a way to, like I said, we're always evolving and growing. So in a way to leverage those things for our agents so they can focus on doing what most real estate agents got into the business of real estate to do, which is to sell houses, right? So if I can take off 4 or 5 hours of paperwork or whatever it is from an agent's week, where now they can use those 4 to 5 hours to go get another deal, right? That's how we bring value to our agents.
I agree. One of the things that, and we kind of touched a little bit on everything is, everyone wanted to know, like, well, can you tell us, like, how was it that he became the #1 team? Like, we want to know, how was he able to get that? I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. And, I don't feel that there is like a secret sauce. I think we all know what it is that we need to do. It's the issue is that we don't do it. And I think for a lot of people, they felt like, well, we want to know. And I think they know the answer. They just want to hear it from you.
Cool. So I want to clarify. That's not an official title, if you will, right?
Yeah.
We're just like slightly competitive. So Keller Williams being an open book company, we can see everybody else's production. We just have to go in the system and check, right?
Okay.
It just so happens that in the first quarter of 2020, we had more sales volume than any other team in Miami-Dade County, right? So in our county, we're nowhere near number one across the country, and we're still ways number one in our region. We're shooting for that eventually down the road, but so we're not there yet. However, how did we do it? We have a good amount of systems in place, again, to leverage most of the day-to-day activities for our agents so they can focus on lead generation and lead follow-up, going on appointments, and we do script and role play every day. So we know what we have to say, when we have to say it, for the most part, right? And we continue to practice it. And in full transparency, we don't do a great job in lead generation, but we do an okay job in lead generation.
And I love the fact that you're so honest, and that, you know, you will never, I mean, I always say how great you guys are, and you just kind of look at me like, Jennifer, you tell me we're toddlers. Like, we're just so far away from where we need to be. But I think that the biggest thing with you guys is that you do have those systems in place. You do have things where every agent knows what they're supposed to be doing, and as long as they're doing it, they're going to get the results. You know, I feel like a lot of times when we work with certain agents that maybe are in a team, or even you'll get one call from one person and then you'll get a call from the other agent that's working on the deal. And I get it, because sometimes that's just the way that the deal is. And I think it's very hard. I have this issue of letting go of like, okay, here, you do it now. I have this problem, I used to have this problem where Douglas is like, I needed to like see everything he was doing, and I needed like to make sure he was doing it right. And it made no sense for two people to be working on the same transaction. So I think for most agents, it's hard to let go because they've never let go. So to say, I'm going to give my deal and let now an admin work on it, and I'm going to go out and get more deals, it's just like, they can't even fathom the thought. They feel like they need to be a part of every single transaction till the very end, from beginning to end. And my client needs me. My client needs to know that I'm there for them. And I feel like you guys are like the perfect example where you usually you don't show up to closing. You have said it a million times. I don't think it's important for me to show up to closing. And I tell you all the time, your client never says, hey, where's Pedro? Why isn't he here? Because you've done your job. Your team has done what they needed to do. So they don't feel like my agent wasn't there for me. And I think that's a big part. And I argue with you all the time. And I say, I feel like every agent should be at their closing, and you disagree. But what do I know? That's just my feeling. But I tell you this, your clients never feel like, oh, he should have been here, because you did your job.
So here's what, and by the way, most of the things that you're going to hear me say are not things that I came up with, right? So you probably heard it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But another reason why we are succeeding and growing year to year, it's also because we're very learning based. Okay. And I failed to say that earlier. All our team members are in coaching. We have business coaching. I coach them once a week. We have one-on-one sessions once a week for 30 minutes. And I also have one-on-ones for 15 minutes role play every day with every single one, or with most of them. But every week, at least 3 role play sessions with our agents. And then I also encourage them to role play with each other. So being learning based, I think, has allowed us to understand that you never quite reach that pinnacle, right? You can always improve and get better.
Absolutely.
Now, and I lost my train of thought, so you might have to refresh me here a little bit. Okay, refresh me.
Okay, so I was actually going to jump into something else, because you made me think of one of the questions that I had from an agent, that they said, like, okay, so as being a part of a team, do they create a schedule for you? Are there anything that are like on the daily agenda that has to be done, or a to-do list that, you know, is set for each agent and they have to complete? And I think that, you know, some teams kind of just go with the flow, and other teams, and I feel like yours is one that's probably a little bit more structure, and you do, you know, assign, I don't know if you want to call it homework, but, you know, touch base on what you just said right now with the role play. I know for a fact you do this role play. It's 15 minutes. Some agents, you do it every day, but you literally get on the phone with them and role play.
Right. So
and I think, yeah.
we gotta master our craft, right? So would you rather role play with me and get better at practicing with me or one of our other team members? Or do you want to practice with a client that's potentially a $10,000 deal?
It's true. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we don't really have a schedule per se. We do have a couple of non-negotiables in order for you to be a partner on our team. And simple, we do a morning huddle every morning at 9 a.m. sharp. You have to be there 4 days a week. It's 15 minutes. We do our gratitude. So we practice gratitude, right? Huge. If you're not looking at all the positive things that we have in today's world to keep your mind sane, right?
Yeah.
It can easily get into negativity, right? So we build each other up by practicing gratitude. We also review how did we succeed the day before, right? And we also talk about what is our one priority for today, right? So we hold each other accountable doing that. We ask our team members to participate in that 4 days a week. Now remember, this is a partnership. So all this is very clearly laid out when we first sit down with them. We actually go through a process called career visioning, which is several interviews. So they get to know us, we get to know them, because it has to be a win-win, right? If it's not a win-win and you as the agent coming onto our team don't feel like you're going to improve your business or get to a better position, or we're going to help you achieve your goals, then it's better not to be partners, right? We could be best friends, yet we might not be able to work together. Make sense?
Yeah, and that brings a good point, because I think for most people, they think that it's like a one-way street. Like, if I want to be on your team, you're interviewing me, and if you like me, then I'm in. But I think it's goes both ways. Like, I have to be able to interview you as a team and say, like, are you a right fit for me? Just because, you know, you're somebody on your team is doing really well doesn't mean I am a good fit for you. So I think for a lot of people, they wanted to know, like, what are the qualities or what are the things that if I want to be a part of a team, what should I be asking that team? What are the things that I should be looking for?
So I'm going to tell you the one other non-negotiable what we ask our agents is that we have a team meeting once a week where we go over issues, pipeline, what's going on. We go over leads. We go over all of that to help each other stay accountable. And that happens once a week for an hour. So those are the two things that are non-negotiable for us.
So what are the things that you look for in a team member, someone who's going to come onto your team? Do they have to have experience? Do you prefer no experience, middle, you know, what's your...
In our stage, it doesn't really matter. We could get somebody that's brand new or get somebody that has some experience. If you're somebody that has experience and you've built some habits, right, that might be different than how we do things. I'm not going to say they're bad, but it might be different than how we do things. Then you would have to have the mentality of, hey, I'm coming to adapt to how they do things in order to succeed, right? Nothing that we do, maybe 1% of the things that we do is something that either I or one of our team members say, oh, boom, that's a great idea, let's do that. Most of it is duplicating somebody else's things. But it doesn't really matter. Career change, newbie agent with a couple months experience, agent that's doing a couple $1 million a year. Our first few conversations will be around, hey, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve in the next 12 months? What are you trying to achieve in 3 years? What are you trying to achieve in 5 years? I'm going to share those goals with you, right? And I'm going to tell you, this is where we're looking to be next year. This is where we're looking to be in 3 years. And this is our goal for 5 years, right? And there's a lot of growth that we're looking to do over the next 5 years. So I'm going to share that with you so you know what our journey looks like. And then my goal is to get to know that person and see what their journey looks like, or at least what they've envisioned their journey to be. And then together we'll decide if we're a good fit for not only you reaching your goals, but also helping us reach our goal. So the most important thing for us, believe it or not, is not real estate knowledge, it's culture, right? We're looking for somebody that is looking to grow. We're looking for somebody that has the right attitude. We're looking for somebody that can get along with the team. So we do a group interview, and it's not really an interview, but it's more of a get to know each other kind of deal. The other thing that I started doing with the last few people that have shown interest in being part of our organization is, hey, come to our office, shadow us for a week. No strings attached, just show up, sit down, listen, ask questions, get to know the team members, see how we interact, see if you like the environment, right? Because you may not like me, you may not like Mate, you may not like Lee, and you might say, hey, these people are jerks, whatever, right? I don't think we are, but you may think that way.
Yeah.
Or believe it or not, what often happens when people go, hey, can we come shadow you? I'm like, sure, come shadow. They're there for about 20 minutes, and then they realize, okay, this is not something that we're looking to do on a daily basis, and they leave, and that's totally okay, right?
Yeah.
But I think that that's the best way for us to kind of expose people to what it would look like being part of our team.
Yeah.
And without any commitments, right? But yeah, there's no experience requirements. No, we're more looking for a cultural fit. And
the right mindset.
The right mindset. And then you do have to have some aspirations, right? I truly believe that if you're not doing 20 to 24 deals a year, it doesn't make sense financially for you to be part of our team or for us to have you on the team, right? Now, I have it broken down where I know how we can get people to 24 deals, right? In fact, so last year I had 2 full-time agents with me. Mm-hmm. Everybody hit those numbers, right? So I know it's doable, right? So we have a formula for that. And we also know that if you show up, you do the things that we do, you can hit those numbers. I mean, we're doing it this year again, so I know it's doable. And the reason why I explain that is because I sat with people that say 24 deals, man, I only did 7, 8 this year. I don't see how that can be feasible, right? So it's very doable. And honestly, again, we're toddler stage. I sat down with a gentleman, I don't remember what state he's from up north, but his name is Jim Black. His agents are averaging 43 deals a year. And I'm like,
wow.
How do you get 4 people? Because it was a group of 5 and they did 240 something transactions, right? So how do you get 4 people to all of them do 40 something deals, right? So that's somebody I want to learn some things from, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what it is for us. It has to be a good cultural fit and most importantly, a win-win.
Absolutely. And let me ask you a question, because I mean, I'm sure this happens not only to you, but people on your team. How do you motivate your realtors? Like right now, I mean, I don't want to talk about COVID-19 because I'm over it. Everyone's having the conversation. It's obviously something that but how do you keep them motivated during times like this? And how do you keep yourself motivated, more importantly, so that you can motivate them?
We keep each other motivated, really. So our morning huddles is how we stay engaged. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there was a period of about a week where all this thing was kind of uncertain, right? And we don't know what's going to happen. And listen, here's what I told them 4 weeks ago when everybody started having a conversation about how do you apply for unemployment and how do you get this PPP thing, right? Mm-hmm. I said, hey, go find out the information, but your focus should be on us figuring out how we help our clients, because there's going to be somebody that needs to buy or sell or invest that is going to need help. And if we don't stay engaged, then they're going to get help from somebody else, right? So don't focus on how to collect the $1,000 that the government is going to give you for free. Let's focus on how to get the $8,000 from serving somebody that's in need, right? And that's very easy to say. Trust me, we all have our mind challenges, but that's the beauty of working with a group of committed individuals, right? There's days that I don't want to show up or I show up with low energy, and Mate will check me and say, hey, dude, what's up with your energy?
Yep.
Right? Or Lee will ask me, hey, what's going on? Are you doing all right? We got to have, and then we kind of bring each other, we bring each other forward and we help each other maintain and push.
Yeah, and I think that's extremely important, because if you're all sitting around the office saying, oh my gosh, like this is horrible, real estate is going, nowhere, we're not going to sell anything, or deals are going to fall apart, having that mindset. And I've been a part of those morning huddles. I absolutely loved it. And there may be people who walk in and say, what the heck are you guys doing? This looks like kind of weird. I enjoyed it. I do plan to
they say it's a ritual, it's a cult, the
It's a
chanting,
cult.
whatever.
Listen, I'm
Yeah.
all about it. Honestly, it made me feel so great. When I left there, we got to get Douglas to do one because I was trying to explain to him what we were doing, but it's something you can't explain. You just got to do.
He's
So
got
we're
to
gonna have
get out of the office past 7-Eleven.
well, yeah, I don't let him go past 7-Eleven Slurpees, and he's got to come back to work. But absolutely, I think it's, I feel like you guys really have that system in place where it's just not everyone getting to work and saying, okay, everyone do whatever they need to. Like, you guys are like literally your doors closed and everyone's working on the phone, doing what they have to do. And I think being around that, as a realtor, you get motivated by someone else and vice versa. Some of the other questions that I was receiving from a lot of the agents is they want to know, as far as any programs that you use, CRM, any tools that you're using to be able to grow your business. I know Keller Williams has a lot of those already in place for you guys. Can you talk a little bit about that, and if there's anything else that you're using for your team?
Sure. Our CRM is Brivity, and that's BRIVITY.com. So that's the CRM that we use for our team, right? Very easy to communicate, user-friendly for us. We're able to transfer leads and do tasks and all that other stuff, manage transactions, transaction management. We do some of our marketing through there. So for us, it's pretty complete, right? It allows us to send out texts. It allows us to, it has a built-in dialer, single line dialer. So it does a lot of the tools that we use, gives a lot of flexibility and the ability to be able to communicate, right, with our clients. So that's our CRM. We do call expireds, some for sale by owners, but more expireds. We get our data from Vulcan 7. We use Mojo, so we feed the data from Vulcan 7 into Mojo. Just like the flexibility of Mojo, it allows us to also record calls. So for training purposes, and also in case you miss something, you can go back and listen to the conversation. So, I mean, those are pretty much the tools that we use. We do some marketing online, starting to dabble a little bit more on YouTube. So if you want to go like my YouTube channel, the KREN Group, youtube.com, the KREN Group or KREN Group, go give us a like, subscribe. I'd appreciate that feedback. If you think we are great at it, awesome. Let us know. If you think we suck, let us know too.
Let us know too, right?
Yep. That's the only way we get better, by the way.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we do some social media marketing, so some social media advertising. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've told me before, we don't do enough social media, right?
All the time. We got to work on that. And we're working on it right now.
We are, exactly.
But I kind of want to wrap it up a little bit. I do want to have a follow-up. I told you this when I first thought of doing a live with you. I definitely want to do a follow-up and see what it is, from Mate, which is one of the agents on your team. One of the people that, I mean, if you don't know who Mate is, where are you living? Under a rock? Like, he's awesome. He has a great story. And to me, like, I feel like teams tend to have like a bad name for them. Mm-hmm. People tend to think, I'm on a team, all I'm doing is giving the team leader or whatever all my money. And that's not the case. If you're with the right team, and maybe you're thinking of being in a team. And I also think that teams aren't for everyone, right? Some people are okay with not being on a team, and that's okay. But if you want to leave us with one last thought, one last thing that you feel is important, whether it's about your team, your experience as a realtor, as building this team, because I think that's definitely tough right now, is to build a team and be able to, show people your vision, unless they actually live it and see it. So I'm going to let you have the last word.
Cool. I'll promise not to make it too long. So you asked, and we kind of skipped through that question because I think I answered another question. Mm-hmm. And you said, what should agents be asking or looking for when they join a team?
Okay.
Right? And I love that you brought up Mate, because he made over 6 figures last year being part of our team, right? Was able to go on vacation. I think he worked 2 or 3 buyers all year, right? Because he doesn't really like working buyers. So it's giving him the opportunity to focus only on sellers, right? So he's a great success story. He's been with our team now a little bit over, well, November. He knows the exact date, so I'm going to say it just in case he's watching. November 29th, 2016. Okay, he joined our team. And the other great story is Lee. She's been with us a little bit over 2 years. She actually also started in November, oddly enough, 2017. And I'm going to tell you, the one of my gratitude moments, we met at the end of, middle of February. We're doing our one-on-one session. And we went over how much money have you made so far this year? Where are you on track to hit your goals? And this is something she said to me that stuck to me. Holy cow, right? Holy cow. I almost made the same as my last year as a teacher in the first 2 months of the year, right? That's big.
That's huge.
Me, right? So I'll answer this. I'll answer the question this way. What value are you bringing to me as an agent other than giving me leads, right? How are you going to help me reach my goal, right? And I think if you're looking to join somebody's world, if they're not asking you what your goals are and where you want to be in a couple of years or 5 years, then it's not really about you or a win-win for both, my opinion, right? So what systems and tools are you going to help me with, or are you going to provide for me so I can focus on growing my business? And how are you going to help me reach my goals? I think is very important. What systems do you have in place so I can leverage my time and have more family time, have more vacation time, and have more time to invest in myself, right? So I can grow my business. The biggest burden for us as team owners, right, is how do we make our systems and processes in our world big enough so the agents that are part of it can achieve their goals and continue to grow, right? And if you're looking to join somebody's organization and they can't have clarity around that, then that would raise some red flags for me.
Got it. And what one piece of advice can you give to someone who wants to start a team? I did have a lot of questions around, well, you know, I think for some agents, they feel like they see themselves having a team. Okay. My advice to them is always, if you're going to have a team, in order for you to have one, you need to have systems and procedures in place. Because if you don't have it and you're a one-person show and now you're bringing on 2 or 3 other agents, it's not enough anymore to just give them your knowledge. It's not enough anymore just to answer their phone calls. It's, this is how I'm successful, and we're going to just repeat the same thing on a bigger scale and improve it. So
here's what I would say. And this is not brand specific, right? So you could be Remax, Century 21, or whatever company that you're associated with, right? I would definitely grab a copy of The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, right? That's written by the guy that built the biggest real estate team in the world, which is Keller Williams. And it has it laid out step by step what steps you should take to build a team. So I would definitely read that. Second, I would reach out to some people already doing it that you believe are doing it at a high level. In fact, I would reach out to a couple of people that are already doing it and say, hey, can I shadow you for a week? Can I shadow you for a day? Can I buy you coffee? Ask questions, right? And then when I say it's not agent specific or brand specific, Keller Williams offers a course called Career Visioning. You don't have to be with Keller Williams to take it, okay?
Okay.
It's a 2-day course. They teach you how to hire people. What should you be doing? How should your interview process look like? What questions you should be asking? How do you discover where they've been, where they want to go? Are they the right fit? And it's all laid out for you. So I would highly recommend talk to an agent that's with Keller Williams, call a team leader that's with Keller Williams, call an office and say, hey, I heard about this career visioning thing. You can reach out to me if you want and say, when's the next class and can I go take it? In fact, I recommend that to anybody, even if they're not in real estate.
I was going to say, that sounds like a great class that I should be taking.
Because I'll tell you what, when I or when I was looking to hire our first admin, right, I interviewed 14, 15 people, I think, that I got through what I thought was the right way to go look for talent, right? And I really didn't know what the heck I was doing, realistically. And it was a very painful process, time consuming. I really didn't know what questions to ask. I didn't know what should I be paying? How should I structure pay? And all this is pretty much given to you and laid out as a foundation in that class, right? But I would also look for people that you can have as mentors and say, hey, find out, what are you paying? How is your structure? All those different things. So.
Awesome. Well, Pedro, thank you so much. I truly enjoyed today's live. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of these, because I think that, you know, we're all here as realtors and, you know, title lenders. We're in the same industry. We have the same struggles. There's enough business for everyone, and being able to know and hear from someone who has a team and has experienced, you know, the ups and downs and continues to change and continues to move forward. It's important. It's important. I wanted to add that value to my agents, and I went out and texted a bunch of them today and said, like, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? Because that's what I want to ask. Maybe the questions that I think that I'm asking are what you want to know, but you're the agents. Tell me so that I can help you grow your business. So I thank you very much for giving us the opportunity.
And lastly, sorry to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
But, by the way, my screen froze, so I only see that 8 people signed on all night, and I didn't see any comments flow, so I don't know if people were even here or not.
Yeah.
So
I'm reading. I didn't read the comments, but yeah, there's people signing in, waving, saying thank you.
Here's what I would say. If it doesn't matter where you are, Miami or anywhere, and you want to build a team or you have a team, I love to mastermind with you. Right? Okay. So you may be doing some things that we're not doing at a high level that we can learn, and then vice versa. So feel free to reach out to me. We're always learning. We're always trying to grow. We're always trying to expand. And we're always looking to partner with awesome people. That's why we're working together.
Awesome.
That's why I don't go to closings, because I don't need to. You guys do a fantastic job.
All right. Thank you. I'll send you that $20 later.
There you go.
All right, Pedro, have a good night, and we will talk soon. Bye, guys. Thank you for everyone who joined us. Appreciate it. Have a good night.